getting to win this, trophy for the first time since the franchise moved to Oklahoma. I'm talking about Oklahoma City Thunders. They're champions after beating Indiana Pacers 103 to 91 points in Game 7 of the finals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Thunders with 29 points and 12 assists. Any finals MVP honors to go with his regular season MVP award. The Thunder dominated the second half by scoring Indiana 34-20 in the third quarter to pull away for good. Indiana lost star guard Tyrese Haliburton to a leg injury just 7 minutes into the game, dealing a crushing blow to their championship hopes. And the Pacers managed to stay close in the first half, leading 48-47 at the break, but 23 turnovers proved costly as Oklahoma City Thunder converted them into 32 points. This is the Thunder's first title since moving to Oklahoma City in 2008. The franchise previously won as the Seattle SuperSonics in 1979, and Alexander becomes the first player since LeBron James in 2013 to win both regular season and finals MVP in the same year.
Honestly, I mean, it's all the time we work hard, all the sacrifice, all the stuff that we did to get to this point. I mean, it's amazing. We got to be grateful for that.
This is for the state, the whole state of Oklahoma. They deserve this, from just Oklahoma City, Edmond, everybody deserves this in the state of Oklahoma, so I'm glad we was able to do it for the state.
Honestly, a lot of champagne. My goggles were fogged up. Some of it got through the goggles. I was just enjoying it, trying to enjoy the moment. It was fun. You dream about it your whole life. You see videos of it, you hear about things like that, but it's never what it actually is when you're back there. Super blessed to have the moment, and I'm gonna think about it for the rest.
Interesting to see how much of a height basketball players can be, 6'7", some are 6'8", and then you look at the media guys trying to stretch their gadgets to get the view of the faces of these players. That's to tell you what the sport possesses when it comes to the world of basketball. Well, joining us to look at the wonderful run of the Oklahoma City Thunders is our in-house correspondent, of course. I'm talking about Udoka Njoku, a lover of basketball. Udoka Njoku joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, and welcome. And let's, of course, head straight to business and talk about Oklahoma City Thunders. Before that game, Game 7, it could have gone to either of Oklahoma City Thunders or the Indiana, but before the game, who were you tipping to win? And at the end of the day, do you think that we had a credible and worthy champions of the NBA?
Yeah, thank you very much, Favor, for having me on the show. Interesting times are here for basketball, most especially the NBA. I mean, this weekend it was packed through with a lot of interesting sides from that game between OKC Thunder and, of course, Indiana Pacers. And I did say that the Thunder was going to strike in the home of OKC, getting that victory against the Pacers. Now, just so our viewers get to know, this is the 20th time we're getting to see a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. I mean, the last time was between the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Golden State Warriors. That was in 2016, which ended 4-3 in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, fans are of the opinion that if Tyrese Haliburton had finished that game, then maybe the Pacers would have had a chance against the OKC Thunder. But then again, we knew that SGA, that's Gilgeous-Alexander, had something to prove. He had to show that he was indeed worthy of the award, talking about the most valuable player of the 2024-2025 NBA season. So it was anybody that had won that game would have been worthy champions. Talking about Pacers, if they had won, it would have been worthy for them to have won it. But for the OKC, playing in front of home fans, Game 7, it was risky. But of course, when it got to quickie bomb time, they had to pull through and ensure that they finished that game tops. And for Tyrese Haliburton, sad to see that he was injured, because I would have loved to see how that would have gone down for him to finish that game man for man, toe-to-toe, matching up with SGA in that finals. But it was huge for SGA, and I would say congratulations to OKC. Their first championship, they were getting to wear the ring for the first time in their franchise history. So big congratulations to the OKC Thunder for winning that one. And indeed, SGA was crowned the most valuable player, worthy. He did deserve to be crowned that award.
All right, looking at, I mean, you did mention Haliburton being injured, and you'd have loved to see what happens. But do you think that if he had stayed healthy throughout that game, would have pushed the game to the end, and of course maybe Indiana Pacers would have stood a chance to get that particular game? And also, looking at the context of the champions we've had in the NBA season, how would you place the Thunders in a broader perspective, of course, of recent NBA champions in terms of style, youth, and of course, roster building? When you look at the players, what they've achieved so far, looking ahead of the new season, of course, previous champions we've had over the years.
Oh, Tyrese Haliburton, again, I wish he had finished that game. If he was not injured, I think the Pacers would have had a fight in that one. But of course, basketball is about how many points you get to score and how you are able to defend your own side of the court from letting the balls in. So for OKC Thunder, in the second half, talking about the third and fourth quarter, their defense came to the fore and they were able to hold their own to stop the Pacers from scoring baskets, because they did outpace the Pacers in that game. Now, looking at how they won that game and the NBA history, it also goes down the wire. Like I said, it was the 20th one that went down to Game 7. Were they good enough when it comes to teams that have won the championship? Yes, they are, because all through the championship, we've seen how great they were in their own conference, getting to finish up in that one as tops and getting to the playoffs. Of course, there was a scare against Pacers because they lost Game 1 in front of home fans at the OKC home ground. And it felt like it was going to happen again in Game 7, but this time around they upped their game and got that victory against the Pacers.
All right, interesting one right there. I know the celebration continues in Oklahoma as we look forward to also maybe join them after here. But nevertheless, thank you very much, Udoka Njoku, for that, of course, in-depth analysis in the world of basketball.